Well, DuraTech was actually established in a garage back in 1977. As we grew, we decided to concentrate on the printing of plastics only, and we've been growing ever since at a steady pace. In 1998, we received our ISO 9002 certification. We added digital printing and flexographic printing, and we got into in-mold decoration in order to provide local support for our Fortune 500 customers, for the IBMs and the GE Medicals. We opened a facility in Beijing, China in 2005. We do graphics there and user interface products. We continued to expand our capabilities and got into printed electronics. Eventually, we melded our printed electronics with our in-mold decoration. It was a natural fit to get into in-mold electronics. We are the first licensee for Tactotech in North America for in-mold structural electronics. We do formed parts, specialty products for lots of different markets. Our main markets, however, are appliance and medical device. We also work in the OEM and electronics, and we also do a percentage of automotive.
Everything that you can think of that you can print on, we'll do. From polycarbonates to copolys to polyesters to glass, metal, vinyls. If it can be printed on, we print on it.
We've been looking at LED units for 10 to 15 years, did a lot of different units over that time, different wavelengths. We've put them on our lab units in our R&D area. Then when we've determined that what units worked there, we brought them in, put them in our production area, tried them out.
We realized how much more it would really save us when it comes to power, when it comes to HVAC. HVAC is huge for us because it's very, very, very expensive to run air conditioning. With these lamp systems, you have an incredible amount of exhaust of where that is 100% air conditioned air that's heading out. So it's very costly. So we have about 120 tons of air conditioning just for this room alone. So you can just imagine by putting GEW systems in with no air makeup needs, just this huge savings of air handlers. Matter of fact, I just purchased one air handler, 70 tons, and I think we're looking at like $170,000. For certain customers, we have to go through a very rigorous process and then say this is what we'd like to do, and then they torture test it in all the different conditions, putting it into a thermotron at maybe -40 degrees, taking it to high temperatures, dunking it in water. There's just a variety of testing that it goes through. But we really took our time, and after last year we started purchasing GEWs, and it's been great since. There are so many advantages. We're running at probably 50% of the cost of what a standard lamp system would cost. So that was really huge. Sustainability of the millijoules and watts, number one. Right now with any of our lamp systems, if you look at like an iron lamp system, you'll start out and you'll have the perfect millijoules and watts, and after 20 hours or 20 minutes, it already starts to drop. So there's no real consistency, so you will have to measure that every single time that you run. When it comes to LED, it's flat. And then you do the proper studies on it and you know exactly where to set it per ink system, per material type. And another one was the post cure. We've got probably 250, 300 jobs that we run through here every week. Well, a good portion of those, when they're printed, we actually have to wait 24 hours before we can laminate and move on to our next process. Going to the GEW LED system eliminated that, which, it just helped us with pushing our capacity, shortening our lead times.
LED cured inks perform just as well as the old conventional UV cured inks and the solvent inks. We have not seen hardly a difference in them. And it just cures so much quicker. And some of the materials we're working on are thin materials where the LED just doesn't have the heat that the other units have and distort them. So it does everything we want it to. And our main ink supplier put a GEW unit in their lab. So if we have any issues trying to cure ink, they're able to replicate what we're doing on line here. So if we tell them we're curing it with this much power, they can do it down there. So this way it's a win-win for us.
We went with a variety of different sizes. We've got 3 30-inch wide units. It's a continuous lamp. And we have a 42-inch wide lamp, and then we also have a 50-inch wide lamp. The 50-inch goes on one of our larger cylinder presses where we need that width, but not all the time. So GEW have different levels of which you can run it. So if I run it on level 1, then just the center section works. If I want wider, then the right and left engage, and then now I'm utilizing the full length of it. We love it. The height adjustment is very user-friendly. We adjust according to the material type and just how much power we need. So it could be down as low as a 1/4 inch and up as high as maybe a couple inches off the deck, but it's all dependent on the material that you're putting through there. I've done a lot of installations over the past 30 years, and this was very, very turnkey. We purchased the chiller system, we purchased the LED system and carrier from GEW, and they worked with our fabricators, and we fabricated the rest. They helped us in every single piece of it, and it was smooth, and it's rare. It's very rare. So hats off to GEW. When it comes to measuring the irradiance, we use EIT power pucks, power maps, and we do a full study in a wide variety of speeds and feeds from maybe 80 to 200 feet, or we actually go from the power output. So by adding those two, putting that math together, you can use the millijoules and watts to maximize the productivity, so you can go as fast as you possibly can with such a large unit. You can adjust the lamps to whatever power output you would need. We actually purchased the largest unit that GEW has, and there's only about 10% of the work that we're actually going to run at 30 watts. You never know what the next customer is going to get you because it's never the same. Everybody's technology is changing, ink systems are changing, and we have to be ready for that. So we bought the Ferrari, and we only run it at the highest speed once in a while, but we're usually just coasting with this machine. It's great. We've looked at LED for probably 10 years, I would say. And over those years, we made a few purchases. One of the first purchases was because it was affordable compared to all the other LED systems. That is the wrong way to go. You'll get what you pay for. And we had problems with the quartz and the LEDs blowing out, and the design, and just the technical support that was not there. Every single piece of that purchase was horrible, and they just couldn't achieve the power that the GEW could achieve. ROI happens immediately. The second we put the GEW systems in, I took out a switchback system and had a 16-inch exhaust on it. That took so much of my air makeup out. That's immediate cost savings right now today. Flow of product, the 24-hour cure, it's gone. I get to move product through faster. Our customers get to see their product a day sooner than they normally would. You know, we have got to continue to bring our prices down for our customers, even though supplies are going up. So that's all the savings that I've talked about, the air conditioning, the power savings, quality, just the quality of product of not delaminating. That alone is a huge driver just to push to LED. That was massive. If there's some of our competitors out there that are looking at the GEW system, I would highly recommend that they go with somebody else. This is our edge.